This is Europe, and this is Africa. And this little slice of water between them, that's the Strait of Gibraltar. The Strait of Gibraltar, a natural gateway linking the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea. At its narrowest point, it's just 13 kilometers wide. If you squint hard enough, you can almost see the other side. Here's why it's so important. 20% of the world's maritime trade passes through this stretch. That's more than the Suez Canal and the Panama Canal combined. It's a lifeline for global trade, moving everything from oil and natural gas to cruise ships full of happy tourists snapping selfies. And hey, it's not just about business. The strait is the gateway to one of the world's top cruise destinations. Everyone's having a great time here. Life is pink and sunny, and it's a big, for many the story is much darker. This narrow stretch of water has become a desperate escape route for people risking their lives to reach Europe. Think about it. An African man living on about $3,000 a year, barely scraping by, knows that just 15 kilometers away lies Europe, where the average income is 15 times higher. That's like being stuck outside the gates of heaven, knowing it's so close but out of reach. So people take the risk. Overcrowded, rickety boats, strong currents, dangerous weather. Tragically, many don't make it and end up dying. But for those who do, they're chasing a dream, a better life, a chance to escape poverty and live with dignity. Now here's where things get wild. For over a century, people have been dreaming about physically connecting Spain and Morocco, Europe and Africa. Early plans included massive suspension bridges, like something out of a sci-fi movie. Imagine a Golden Gate Bridge on steroids. But there's a problem. The Strait of Gibraltar is deep, like over 900 meters deep in some parts. Building a bridge that can handle those conditions, crazy expensive and borderline impossible. And guess what? The dream's still alive. Spain and Morocco have dusted off the blueprints and started commissioning new studies. They're looking at modern tunneling tech, environmental safeguards, and everything in between. One of the most promising routes spans 38 kilometers and could connect southern Spain to northern Morocco in less than an hour. Picture high-speed trains zipping across continents. Cool, right? Let's really dig into the mechanics of this tunnel. We're talking about one of the most ambitious engineering projects ever conceived. This tunnel won't just be your average subway tunnel. It will be a feat of human ingenuity that could revolutionize the way people and goods move across continents. To start, think about the geology. The Strait of Gibraltar has one of the most complex geological formations in the world. Beneath its surface, you'll find an intricate mix of soft marine sediments and dense rock layers that would challenge even the most advanced tunneling technology. The construction of a tunnel through this region will require meticulous planning to avoid disastrous cave-ins, underwater landslides, or shifts in the seabed that could trigger earthquakes. The strait is also home to a vast marine ecosystem. Environmental impacts will be one of the greatest concerns in this project. The region is home to migratory species, rare dolphins, and other sensitive marine life. As a result, the project will require extensive environmental assessments to minimize any potential harm to these creatures and the delicate habitats they rely on. The construction team will need to implement cutting-edge technology to reduce underwater noise pollution, which could disrupt marine life, especially during the actual tunneling process. Now, onto the tunnel itself. This project is envisioned to use state-of-the-art tunnel boring machines, TBMs, massive machines designed to excavate the earth and simultaneously construct the tunnel's structure. These TBMs are equipped with rotating cutting heads that slice through the rock and soil, while the tunnel's framework is reinforced with steel and concrete to withstand the immense pressure from the water above. These machines are not just powerful, they're incredibly precise. They can navigate through the earth with minimal deviation, even when the conditions change unexpectedly. Once the tunnel is completed, it won't just be a boring, dark tube. In fact, the interior will be equipped with the latest technology to ensure comfort and safety for its passengers. It will feature automated, fully autonomous trains capable of reaching speeds of up to 300 kilometers per hour, meaning passengers can travel between Spain and Morocco in under an hour. Imagine being able to travel between continents without ever leaving the comfort of your seat. That's the future this tunnel could bring. And here's the kicker. The tunnel will not just benefit travelers. One of the biggest advantages of this tunnel is its potential to transform transform the way goods are transported. Right now, the Strait of Gibraltar is a major bottleneck for shipping. Freight vessels take days to cross the strait, and it's an expensive and slow process. With a rail link, goods can be transported much more quickly and efficiently. Imagine loading a container in Morocco, hopping on a high-speed train, and having it delivered to Spain in a fraction of the time it would take using traditional methods. This could change the entire flow of goods between Europe, Africa, and beyond. Not only would it make trade more efficient, but it would make the region one of the most important logistics hubs in the world. Goods could be transferred from one continent to another seamlessly, and trade between the two continents would increase exponentially. So, let's now talk cash. Trade between Europe and Africa is already worth a whopping 280 billion euros annually, but transportation costs can eat up to 20% of a product's value. This project could cut that by half, making it a bonanza for businesses on both sides of the Mediterranean. For example, African agricultural exports like cocoa, coffee, and that mango you can't live without would arrive fresher and cheaper, and European machinery and pharmaceuticals could hit African markets faster. Plus, Europe is staring down a workforce crisis. By 2030, it's projected there will be a 30 million worker shortfall, which Africa's booming youth population could help fill legally and sustainably. Now, the big gripe, migration. People fear this link will open the floodgates, turning Europe into one giant Airbnb. Let's put this fear into perspective. Right now, nearly 150,000 illegal migrants cross the Mediterranean yearly, risking their lives. It's heart-wrenching to think about. Over 2,000 people drowned in 2023 alone while attempting these perilous journeys. But here's where critics might be getting it wrong. Building this infrastructure doesn't mean more migrants, it means smarter migration management. Why? Because investments create jobs. With proper investments, and we're talking billions, African countries could see a surge in employment opportunities. For instance, in Ethiopia, foreign investment helped create 1.2 million jobs in a decade. Imagine scaling that up continent-wide. Safer legal movement. It's way easier to check passports at a border crossing or a train station than chasing tiny boats in the middle of the sea like it's an action scene from Fast and Furious Mediterranean Drift. This project isn't about Europe losing itself or Africa being a charity case. It's about a win-win scenario: sustainable development, better trade, and humane migration solutions. Instead of playing defense, let's focus on how infrastructure can create prosperity for everyone. After all, it's not just a bridge or a tunnel, it's an opportunity to connect hearts, minds, and, of course, wallets. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the 2030 FIFA World Cup. Spain, Morocco, and Portugal are teaming up to host this global event. But imagine if, in the same year, the tunnel was complete and ready to go. Imagine that World Cup fans could travel between continents, hopping on a train to Morocco to watch a match, then hopping back to Spain to catch another game, all within the same day. The impact would be monumental. The 2030 World Cup will be a huge deal regardless of where it's hosted, but the ability to seamlessly travel between Europe and Africa during the tournament would be a game changer. No longer would fans need to rely on expensive flights or long ferry rides to travel between the host countries. Instead, they could just hop on a high-speed train, relax, and arrive at their next match in no time. Think about the fans from around the world. They could arrive in Spain or Portugal and then simply take a quick train ride to Morocco to see one of the biggest games of the tournament. The whole World Cup experience would become much more accessible and inclusive. For example, a fan traveling from the US could fly into Madrid, catch a match there, and then easily head to Casablanca for another match without having to worry about long-haul flights or ferry schedules. But it's not just about making life easier for fans and team. Completion of the tunnel would also have significant economic impacts. The World Cup is one of the biggest global events, attracting millions of visitors. With the ability to travel seamlessly between Europe and Africa, the entire Mediterranean region could see a boost in tourism and business opportunities. Spain, Morocco, and Portugal would be able to capitalize on this massive influx of people, generating revenue in the tourism, hospitality, and transportation sectors. And beyond the World Cup, the tunnel could set the stage for a new era of cooperation between Europe and Africa. This high-speed rail link would serve as a symbol of unity, connecting two continents that have long been separated by both distance and politics. It could pave the way for even greater collaboration on trade, security, and cultural exchange, creating new partnerships that will benefit everyone involved. So, what do you think? Will we see a tunnel or bridge connecting Spain and Morocco in our lifetime? Could it be ready in time for the World Cup? It seems crazy, but as we've seen throughout history, the impossible can become reality with the right mix of technology, ambition, and determination. If this project becomes a reality, it could change the world in ways we never thought possible. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you ride a train under the Strait of Gibraltar? How do you think this would change travel, trade, and international cooperation? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more mind-blowing ideas from around the world. See you next time.